Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of IPL Tidbits with Gully Cricket. So, Shash, GT becomes the first team this season to reach the finals. They do not have
Hmm.
these big openers. They do not have that one man who is in form. All they have is four finishers, and they just need one of them to click to win the game. And yesterday it was Miller. So, talk about that knock, Shash.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, like who would have thought that GT would be the first team to go to the finals, considering that they are a new team this season, and you don't know how they were going to like play as a team and perform. I mean, kudos to them, man. As you mentioned, they don't have any big players, they play as a team. I think that is what I like about this outfit. They don't depend on certain individuals. All right, they play as a team, and I think that is one of the reasons why they've come so far because they found different people at different times standing up for them and doing a job. Now, what is the ultimate thing that you want to win the game? It doesn't matter who like performs, as long as you're winning games. I think that's been their mantra, and I think they've been really good at it, and they deserve to go to the final as well. Because what they were chasing was not at all an easy target. I mean, again, Miller came at a tricky situation. Uh, Gujarat had lost Shubman Gill through a needless run out, and then you also had Matthew Wade getting in some runs and again like getting out soon after Shubman Gill's wicket. So then when Miller came in, he took his time, initially. Like he was not finding it easy. I think Hardik was doing the. I think they played their roles perfectly. Is what I would like to say. Like they understood who should go after at what situation, and I think they calculated that extremely well. Like if you look at it, it was a lot tighter, than what you see at the end. Like Miller finishing it off with three sixes. Obviously, yeah, you feel that it was comfortable, but then it wasn't that easy. Because it's a big score. Like you're talking about 190. Knockout or playoff game is not easy to chase. And they did it with like a few balls to spare and with so many wickets in hand. Says a lot. And I think it's a game changer for Miller this season. To be honest, he's mentioned himself that he's been backed by the one of the reasons for him to perform so successfully is because he's being backed by the Gujarat Titans so well. And the funny thing is, he also sent out a tweet where he's apologizing to his previous team, Rajasthan Royals, that I'm sorry I had to do this. So they also come up with a funny tweet is like, uh, you know, uh, even an enemy won't think of doing such things, but a friend has done something like this. So yeah, it's all just in good humor. But yeah, I mean, this must grow his confidence of world of good, not only in the IPL but even for his international career as well. Because he's someone who used to struggle against the spin, but I think he played quite well. He took on Chahal like when it was needed, and yeah, I mean, great knock. Not many people would have expected, but again, what shall I say? It's you should give the credit to him for being there till the end and making sure that his team goes through.
Yes, Chahal actually had good numbers against him, but Chahal went wicketless yesterday. So that was the kind of
Correct.
innings played by GT yesterday. So now let's move on to the first inning. We had a lucky player. He was dropped thrice. Rashid's googlies almost clipped the stump twice, and also a lot of misfield led him to boundaries. In fact, if he had bought a lottery ticket last night, he might have as well as ended up being richer than Ambani, maybe.
Definitely.
So that
Yeah.
man is none other than Buttler, who scored a 56 ball 89. So take us through that knock, Shash.
Yeah. I mean, having a name Butler, he definitely wasn't cooking in the last 6, 7 games. He was in red hot form, like in the first phase of the IPL. And you could clearly see that, he wanted to get those runs. He badly wanted to,
Mm.
like make a point or, get amongst the runs or tell people that, this is why I'm here in this team even after like not performing well like for so many games. Yeah, it's unusual, right, to see him like play like 30 balls for like a strike rate of 100. You would have expected the strike rate to be close to 130 or even 140. But I think he realized that he wasn't in the best of nicks and he wanted to bide his time, whereas other people were going after the bowling. And I think he just unleashed himself after the 15th over, which which actually helped Rajasthan to get to very extremely competitive total, is what I would say. Because since it was being played in a new venue, no one knew how the pitch was going to behave. So that was another thing that we had to factor in as well. Uh, yeah, so it seemed like it was gripping a little bit in the first innings and became a lot better to bat in the second innings. So yeah, and luckily the rain stayed away as well yesterday. So
Mm.
we got a full game without any hiccups. That was also a positive. Hope it stays the same tonight as well.
Yeah. So that was one good knock, but there was another special knock yesterday, sir. 26 ball 47 and an intent right from the first ball. So that was from Sanju Samson. So what do you think? Was it a message to the selectors?
I think it's a little too late if you ask me because the team's already been selected for the South Africa series. He's not done enough, for me to get in the Indian team. He's always flattered to deceive. He's very, like good on the eye. You can sort of say like how Rohit Sharma was in the initial few years, but then Rohit started making it count with performances. But Sanju, I mean, he's been a letdown if you ask me. I sometimes feel he's a little confused as to what type of game he wants to play, whether he wants to anchor the innings, whether he wants to take his time or whether he just wants to, go after the bowling attack right from the beginning. Now that he needs to decide, like, what is the approach that he wants to use. I understand that you come in at different situations being in the middle order, but then your game is something that you must be sure of. Okay, this is how I'm going to play, respective. Like, when you talk about Rahul Tripathi, like if they lost 2 wickets or 3 wickets, he's going to play the same game. Now, there is a clarity in your role. Now, I feel that is also required for Sanju Samson if he wants to make it big. Because even when he's got the opportunities for the Indian team, he's not created any impression. You know, just striking a few boundaries, making it good, making it look good to the eye is fine. But then, have you made a match-winning contribution? Is the thing. The such type of innings are few and far between. So still think he's not had a breakthrough season. And I know pretty well he would realize it himself. So all I'm hoping for that is, he gets there sometimes too.
Yes, this role clarity is very important. We saw it in Miller's inning yesterday, and
Correct.
yeah, so Miller actually was the man of the match, and a lot of viewers had predicted Josh Butler.
Butler.
So yeah,
Hey guys, what's happening by the way? We're not seeing any entries. This is the playoffs. Come on. I mean, are you already tired of entering or I don't understand because this is supposed to be the business end of the IPL, and I'm assuming like everyone is going to be tuned in to watch this. So at least for today's game, I'm hoping there are a lot more entries. Let's see about that.
yeah, maybe they're waiting for RCB games so that they can predict all RCB players, like it has always been. So,
Hmm.
so that brings us to tonight's game. We have RCB playing tonight, and it's a must-win game. So it's the eliminator
Yes.
between Lucknow Super Giants and the RCB. So now Lucknow has not won any game against the other three teams in the playoffs. So what do you think is the
Hmm.
reason behind this, Shash? What do you think they should start doing to win against these big teams?
Hmm. See, honestly, like looking at the balance of the team, I feel they have a very good balance. You talk about the openers who have been like fairly successful for them. I think you can sort of say they're the engine room, which drives the Lucknow Super Giants innings. Now, I think if they had an issue, it's with the middle order. Except for Deepak Huda, there's not been many meaningful contributions. I feel Stoinis has not been used or utilized in an ideal manner. Then, like you got an Evan Lewis after a long break. Now, I was even wondering, I'd even forgotten that this guy was playing, for the Lucknow
Yeah.
Super Giants after the initial few games because this guy he's like made for T20 man. He's a destructive player. Now, assuming that he had injuries, I would be really surprised the reason why they would have dropped him and tried other players. But yeah, I mean, this guy can win a game on his own. Sorry, and yeah, Krunal Pandya. Yeah, I don't think they made like Badoni as well. Like he looked really good in the beginning, but he's just not made it count after that. He's definitely a promising talent, but that's the thing. Like if you get carried away with too many shots, you might end up not making too many runs. So it's very important to keep the basics right and like focus on your game is what I believe in. Yeah, otherwise the bowling has been reasonably good, especially with the rise of Mohsin Khan. He's been a revelation for them. Uh, Bishnoi has been a little inconsistent, is what I would say. He has taken wickets, but I think since he's young, he's still got a lot to learn. I'm sure he'll definitely get better. Uh, Otherwise, Avish Khan, again, problem with consistency there. I think in the match against KKR, he went for 60 runs for 4 overs. So I think certain teams have targeted him. I would say he's one of the weak links, irrespective of him being selected for the Indian team. But he's not been good or like no anywhere close to his best compared to what he did last season. Uh, yeah, these are, I mean, these might be some of the reasons why they might have, not won. I mean, it's a good thing that they're not won against big teams because that makes RCB even more favorites, is what I would say for tonight's game.
All right.
I hope it stays with me.
Okay. So we'll come to that in the last question. So now jumping on to the matchups, Shash. Both my matchups involve Maxwell. One Maxwell the batsman, one Maxwell the bowler. So now KL Rahul has been dismissed by Maxwell 2 times in 5 innings. So do you think this will be the key to stop Rahul and restrict LSG to a lower total?
Well, Maxi has definitely been a very handy, option for us in terms of bowling because he's you can't call him a part timer now because he can chip in with 4 overs when needed. When he has a good day. Because you saw that even against the previous game against Gujarat, he was really good. I think for the first 3 overs, he hardly gave like 10 or 12 runs. And it's only in the last over that he got taken to by Miller a little bit. But yeah, I'm traditionally seeing Rahul now is sort of, again, for me, his game plan is, I don't know, like I might be a little critical, but then I feel it is not clear. He seems to struggle because even against the South Africa series, he got out a few times to Markram. You don't expect a player of Rahul's caliber to get out to part timers like that. He just tries to be way too defensive sometimes. I think that has led to his downfall. I wouldn't mind if Maxwell the stat improves when Maxwell gets him out another time today because for me it's about RCB winning tonight. That's it.
All right. So Rahul is the guy for RCB to stop. But coming to the other inning, Maxwell is the guy who can be
Mhm.
lethal in the middle overs and go big when actually things slow down.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is where Krunal Pandya comes into the picture, and KP has dismissed Maxwell 4 times in 13 innings. So how should
Mm.
RCB tackle this?
Well, Krunal has definitely been, what should I say, a stumbling block for RCB, whether he played for Mumbai or now that he's playing for Lucknow Super Giants. I don't know, Virat, AB have also struggled against him. It's something maybe to do with the angle that he bowls in, doesn't give too much flight, and also doesn't turn the ball a lot, actually. It's his accuracy, I think, which sort of troubles. But knowing Maxwell, I mean, he's got out to him a few times, but that happens with Maxwell because of the shots that he plays. Uh, I would say he can take him down with his unorthodox, technique, unorthodox shots, basically. So yeah, I'm just hoping that that record of uh, him dismissing 4 times just stays like that, and the innings just progresses like for 14 innings. I hope that doesn't happen to me.
All right. So Shash, now final question of the day. So forget you're an RCB fan. Who are your favorites to win this game?
Hmm. I mean, I'm sitting on the fence here because you're talking about two like really well balanced teams is what I would like to say. I don't remember RCB having so much depth in batting like for a long time. They've generally struggled, relying on a few players like maybe the likes of ABD and KL before. But now you have some young Indian players also stepping up, which is what we want to see in the IPL because that is what this tournament is for. Uh, Saying that Lucknow also, have done really well being a first timer in this particular season. So for me, the only thing I'll go with RCB is because of the fact, as you mentioned, that Lucknow has failed to win against, big teams or the fancy teams. So with that, I'm probably going to back RCB.
All right. So Shash has made his pick, and with that, we come to an end of our preview. So we'll coming to a man of the match contest. We have already declared the winner. There's no winner actually. So, but tonight we have the contest again. So we have only 3 more games. So only 3 more
Yeah.
vouchers to be won. So make sure you participate and make all your friends participate so that someone can win the voucher and you can maybe take half of it. So the rules are simple. You just have to predict the man of the match, and your time till the first ball of second innings is bowled. So do comment, share the video, and enjoy cricket. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.